Welcome to another episode of Ruff Talk VR, a weekly podcast with in-depth game reviews, exclusive developer interviews, and the latest MetaQuest and virtual reality news. We join our hosts, the father-son team of D. Scruffles and Stratus today, as they spend another episode breaking down and discussing the world of virtual reality.
Hey, welcome to this episode of Ruff Talk VR, coming at you with, well, another edition of VR news, but this is a special one. Do you know why that might be, sir?
Do tell. I do know.
Yeah, I brought it up.
I'm not going to act stupid.
Off air. It came and went very fast. Like, it kind of slipped by.
That I didn't know.
Yeah, I brought it up, right before the podcast, but it's been, as of May 19th, 4 years of the podcast. That's crazy.
Dude, that blew my mind.
Yeah, it feels like 2.
You were like, we passed our 4 year.
Yeah.
I'm like, what are you talking about?
Yep. We've now been doing it for 4 years.
Almost half a decade, dude.
If you go back to the first, the first year of episodes, we refer to ourselves as the new people in VR quite a bit. There's no way we can make such a claim. We can even pretend that anymore. I guess we might be able to say we're OGs of the Quest coverage.
I still feel it, though.
Still feel like the new guy?
Every day.
Yeah, isn't that crazy? I agree with that.
Only because there's always, it changes every day, literally. I mean, we're able to sit here for an hour every single week and just talk about everything that's changed in a week. Like, get the hell out, man. So yeah, I feel fresh every day, I'll say. Yeah. But I also, on the other side of things, 4 years is a while.
I'm
how many episodes? I think we're over 300.
I'll get the full count in just a second while we keep talking. I can easily pull that up.
One time I did the math on it took a lot too. This was a while ago. If you listen to every single episode back to back, how many days would go by?
Oh yeah, that's not a number I'll pull up.
Dude.
But it's been a hell of a journey. I mean, we got real lucky right in our first year with, the first 6 months we got to talk to Matt Sarah. That was like our
undeservingly, yes.
Yeah, that was our first big milestone. And then, all the relationships we built with developers, the great community that exists in the Ruff Talk VR Discord, a great group of listeners that hang out there. 410 episodes.
Jeez Louise.
Not playing games. 100 episodes a year.
So you figure that's like minimally 400 hours. 410 hours.
Minimum, yeah. With some episodes
divided by 24.
Yeah, it's been
oh my God, dude.
Yeah.
Now I just got to know for my own sick curiosity.
Yeah, it's been a hell of a journey, though.
It's a long road trip.
So thank you to everyone who tunes in, week after week. We have even some listeners that have been with us since the first year. 17 days?
17 days.
That's nuts.
And that's like nonstop every second of the day.
Well, if you're ever going on a cross-country road trip, we got you covered.
For 17 days?
You have 17 days of that
I think you
trip.
could drive across the world in 17 days.
Mm-hmm.
And you can get to Cali in like 4. What the hell? I mean, you obviously can't drive across the ocean, but if you could, that's insane, dude.
Yeah. What a journey it's been. And the best I always feel like the best is yet to come. I don't know if you have that dangling carrot in front of your face as well.
No, I know what you're saying, but like last year was it was so much in so many different directions. I was really thinking of it. Tracy and I were talking the other night. We were looking at my magnet wall on the side of the fridge. And I'm like, man. And plus there was 2 trips to Florida that I don't have magnets on there.
I do really feel like this is a year of recovery in a lot of ways. I don't think that the industry could afford another 2024 right now.
We already see it. You know what I'm saying? And to a large degree. And that's just in the XR booth at Gamescom this year is not. Although we made the argument, and I'd make it again, that you could do the same thing at PAX and probably have a more impacting effect.
Well,
for a lot less money.
I do want to say
a lot less money.
It's been a fun 4 years.
Yeah, man.
And here's to another 4 years.
I'll do 4 more. God willing.
What's the math of it work that
my age scares me?
You know how so the third year of the podcast, that's when, was the year of Gamescom and our crazy year last year.
Yeah.
Watch this year.
This year's
slower.
Been pretty good though.
Next year's going to be slower.
And
then watch. The 6th year, it's going to follow that same cycle. 2 years from now is going to be crazy.
Well, I mean, there are cycles to everything, right? Just naturally. There were also booming times years before that. A lot of people will never probably get back to the extent that, I've heard some stories that I'll just self NDA on because wow, you talk about some crazy times.
Yeah.
I mean, some good times.
Industry's evolved, but nonetheless, it's been a fun journey.
Either way, I'm grateful for every episode and every minute. And I get to do it with you, and all the travel was with you. And it's there's that special aspect that whether it was the doner kebab dude we were getting in Germany, it's when people when people make the connection of the father-son aspect and you see the emotion change, it's freaking awesome. I don't care who it is. It's all of a sudden, I think that's why we interviewed Matt Serra at the end of the day.
Oh yeah, no doubt.
He's a dad and he's this is just freaking great. So
who doesn't, it appeals to a lot of people, I'm sure, that aspect, but it's just been a fun ride. It's awesome. We get to do it together. Yeah. Like I said,
I'd have it no other way.
Community that listens week after week. They're awesome. It honestly couldn't be better. The relationship with all the developers we built, it's so freaking cool.
The community and the developers are my favorite.
That's what it's all about.
It's turned out to be I thought actually playing the games would be my favorite.
No, it's when you get to see them in person, to a developer in person.
Their studio.
Yeah.
Stuff. And we had the ability, we've got a handful of studios we were able to visit. Still haven't been to Shell yet, though.
No.
One's only, 3-4 hour drive.
One day. But nonetheless, I do want to say we have been playing this last week. We've done a couple of sessions of it, and it's been really fun. Honeypot from VR Monkey.
Honeypot. Very cute.
Yeah, wicked cute. I think your first word, the way you described it the first time we played was, these avatars are cute as hell, man.
Yeah, they are cute as hell.
The bunny, or the bees.
What's not cute as hell is the grind to get more.
I don't quite understand how to get more coins.
I'm an idiot. I got to go in there and ask one of the little kids I saw in the lobby or something.
Hey, how do I really maximize my coin output?
But you need, it's up to 4 players, and I'd recommend minimally 3.
Well, we're surviving with 2. We just beat the whole first season of levels.
Yeah, but no.
Well, it's
no. They don't dumb it down or it doesn't seem like they dumb it or show any mercy whether you're 2 or 3. So I'd rather have a third.
I can't say that because we haven't played it with 3 or 4 people, and who knows if the output of enemies vastly increases.
Okay, but the output of directions is not.
You don't know that.
I'd rather have 2 people building.
Maybe on the first level they're coming out of every way when you have 4 people.
I'm 99%.
You got to try it out.
But that's what I'm saying. It's I don't want to.
But what the game is, we referenced bee avatars. It is a single player or co-op tower defense game where you play as a bee.
That you work.
Yeah, well, you have to do the arm movement to fly. That's how you fly, as the bee.
Well, and you got to work by actually building and harvesting the honey.
And since it's a tower defense game, you're not just top down dictating everything. Again, you're a bee. You have to actually do all the building. So there's this honey pot of what would be your build currency coming down, and it refills per second, and items will take 60 honey to build, and
or 90,
or later stages 90 or 20
more. We don't even know.
Yeah, that's true. We haven't beaten the whole campaign. Actually, the whole campaign's not even done yet. The game's out in early access, and then you got to fill up your honey jars, and it's so cute, man. They have the first time I saw it was a little creepy. The bee hands on your bottom row of bee hands, so you can hold a jar of honey on your lower hands and then still use your upper hands. And then you have to go down there and dictate which item you want to build or which type of turn you want to build. And then you fuel it. You build it with your honey. There's also these flowers that you can then turn into extra honey generation that increase your honey generation speed. So to your point of it's you got to work. It's not only that you got to flap your wings, it's race against the time because the enemies are coming. So you're going to have to go get the honey, decide what you want to build where, relative to where the enemies are coming out, and what you kind of alluded to earlier. There's multiple directions they come to. So far, we've encountered, up to 5 different directions?
4.
4? 4 is the highest we've hit?
It's a 4-player game. That's what it is. You each have to take and hope you don't have to call on your buddy to fight the bears that are coming.
Yeah, the bears are pretty much the main enemy, but they're small, big water bears. Remember the giant water bears we just encountered?
Yeah, and then there's the bigger one.
The boss?
Yeah, dude, that thing fucking huge.
Yeah, the final stage of that season, that there's definitely a boss type enemy. And
I can't remember. He's not a ranger. I can't remember what he is.
Scout.
There's the little bear scouts, and then there's the bigger bear scout, and then there's this freaking. I think there's one. No, there's the running ones, and then there's this giant ass. He's just so huge. Like perspective wise, you stand next to him, shooting your little bow and arrow. Boom,
and he came from a route that we didn't have anything built for.
No, that's why I need minimally a third.
But we've only failed one time.
Minimally.
So
yeah,
you say that, but we're winning too.
We're on the first chapter.
There's only 2 chapters.
Look, I'm a tower defense addict, and I'm just telling you from my fucking 800 years of experience that we need a third.
I think it would be helpful. I
The
think
struggle.
I'm pushing back on the word need.
The struggle that I have to go through to try to build shit and guess which one of the 4 routes is coming.
They give you some indicator.
Yeah, but then what happens? You fucking arm that up in the next round. It's coming somewhere else. Probably 2 different directions. It's just not worth the hustle for me. It's like, you know, if they want to dumb it down and get rid of one of the routes, just give me minimally a 3. I'm cool.
We got through the whole first season and only lost once on the last level.
Yeah.
Just saying.
I'm just saying, yes, I'm proud of us.
I'm just saying.
If it's going to get worse than that.
It might not.
And we barely inched it.
Well, I think after that boss battle and it goes to the second season, I think the difficulty is going to reset. I don't think it's going to be harder than the boss battle of the final level.
Then that'll be a standout. No, I don't think it'll be harder than the boss battle, but it's going to be harder than the last level that led to the boss battle.
Maybe. I'm willing to find out. We've been 2-starring in fairness. We haven't been getting 3 stars.
And if it's not, it would be I think the first tower defense game I played other than like phone app games that start you right from scratch like that.
Let's see. I think what you're just trying to do is recruit some more people from our Discord to hop in us.
I said it last night when we were playing. I'm like, bro, I'm not going back into this without a third.
The game does have
I was like, does Guanatu own it? You know?
The game does have a 5.0 rating on the MetaQuest store.
Dude, at the end of the day, because they give you a lot of mini game shit to do, it looks like there's a whole bunch of unlockables for mini games that aren't even either there yet or you need to unlock them.
There's like a coin get one and a fly through the hoops mini game one.
Yeah, I mean, you got little just fun stuff, and then you got, you know, little like bear bowling you have, and then you got an archery range challenge to play with. You got you know, there's a little dartboard in your house. You got the queen bee. The graphics are pretty damn good.
And we reference coins. The point of coins is to buy cosmetics. But like, we've beaten the whole first campaign.
Yeah, like 285 coins.
Doing
something
a mustache. Wrong. Some of the outfits cost 5,000 coins.
The good ones.
It's like, dog, I'm never gonna get that.
I was even joking. I'm like, well, you know, if they're gonna send the game, they should at least give us everything unlocked so we don't enjoy the game. Because I know how it like.
That's the grind to get you to keep playing it.
Yeah, I actually, at the end of the day, it's like anytime I've seen a game that gives you the option to unlock everything and you do.
It ends up boring.
Yeah. Go figure.
Yeah, it's part of the experience. I agree.
Yep. So I just want to know what I'm doing wrong. Like how can I generate more cashola?
And I incorrectly
those other outfits they're freaking awesome, dude.
And I incorrectly thought that you could buy coins, but it doesn't seem like you can.
No, you were actually almost disappointed sounding.
Yeah. Well, the game's $6.99, so I was going to say
buy it.
It would have been a thing where I'm like, well, they're charging you for the game for $6.99, and then
buy
like
1,000 coins or something.
But like I was like, you're kind of double dipping there. But no, you doesn't seem like you can buy coins. So the game's only $6.99 on the MetaQuest store. A steal. I think it's best played co-op too. Like I think that's where it would shine the most. I can't imagine
if you have good 3.
Or you can play it single player. How do you think it runs single player? Do you think it scales back at all or no?
Well, that I have to try.
Yeah,
dude, a 4. Again, if they don't change it at all, for this. Dude, no one's doing it. It's impossible.
If it's that same output single player?
Yeah, man.
Mm-hmm.
Don't get it twisted. When I saw the 4 different routes, and there are intersections where they meet, so you can intelligently put shit.
But there's also ways that they can take multiple routes, so there's not there's not a guarantee that they're going to hit that intersection.
Once you got your intersections built, you're pretty much
just kind of,
other than building outside their exit point, which isn't going to kill them all at their exit.
Mm-hmm.
Man. But I love tower defense. I just know my place on the food chain with this, and it's like the more the better. When I went into a public lobby and heard little kid voices, and then realized, I'm like, oh shit, I'm in their game. I'm supposed to be helping them, but I was listening. I was the 4th. It was like 2 adults and 2 little kids. And normally you might not see that interaction. I would have been the second adult too. I didn't really speak up. I just wanted to know what happened if I clicked the button, public match, whatever.
You were even trying to get me to go in.
Yeah, just to see
put me in my own lobby.
See if it would put you in. I'm like, oh, okay, you can't. That's right. So the need is there, where if you can have adults and kids playing the same game because they have a purpose, bet you the kids are freaking good at it.
Oh yeah, I bet kids kill me in that. Like, I can't do that arm flap movement or gorilla tag movement too good. I suck at it.
Well, they're little. Their arms are like this freaking big. They have less arm to flap. It makes total sense.
Is that your theory of it?
Dude, 1,000,000%.
Oh, dude, I've also been.
They don't have the strength, but they have little. If a little kid falls down and lands on his ass, he fell like what, a foot, 2 feet.
That's actually a good point. I swing my arm. It's so much. There's just like,
yeah, there's a lot of arm.
That's a good point.
Little kids, that's why they, feel like, oh, they have so much energy. It's like, no, they don't weigh 180 pounds.
Do you know how much energy it takes to move my ass?
100%.
Yeah,
they have the same sports car engine, just the frame is like so. You know
what else I've been getting back into as well? I finally feel like that they've hit a playable, enjoyable level in Thrill the Fight too. They haven't completely
you've been playing
countered
that a lot.
Yeah, I'm not doing bad. I'd say I win about 2-1 right now.
I've been playing a lot of it's Inferno's fault too.
Oh, a flat screen game, right?
Yeah.
What's it called?
Oh, dude, I can't remember.
Take it up after. Gotta love the Ruff Talk VR Discord. Like we say all the time, there's great VR discussion, great game discussion, but yeah.
Oh, I get tagged in it too. That's the worst part, because it's like I can't avoid it. But he nailed it because it was right up my
Well, as you pulled up, to kick off the news, this one came out like after we recorded on Sunday. I was like, damn, we missed it by hours, if I remember correctly. But Dungeons of Eternity, they teased their PCVR release by showing off some of the PCVR visuals for the game, and it looks sweet. I'm so excited for Dungeons of Eternity on PCVR. Amelia in our Discord asked us, like, are you going to be able to like carry over your save? And I was basically like, I don't even care.
I don't even care.
Like, dude, if I have to restart my save on PCVR,
I'd rather be honest with you.
Dude, right? Isn't it? It's the type of game where I'm like, please, actually, yeah, I agree. Like, I'll have my Quest save and my Steam save. I don't care.
I have unnecessary attachments to weapons I shouldn't use.
So you wouldn't mind a fresh start?
Nope.
Yep.
Nope.
See, it's that good.
I can detach from.
And it's that good of a game too, where it's like, yeah, actually, a fresh start might be fun, on Steam, on PCVR. Let's go, man. Dungeon.
I was excited when we knew they were eventually going to do it.
Mm-hmm.
That was a while ago, but we knew that they weren't going to like make it like. So if you played the PC VR version and the Quest version, you're going to be like, oh, it's PC or nothing. So.
Oh, dude, you're getting a new audience. Now, that audience isn't going to be as big as the Quest market, but it still is an audience you weren't able to hit before. Exactly.
Yeah. Percentage.
And to prove you can't win as a developer, on the post of them showing this off, I already saw people saying, all right, so now we just need PSVR 2. Like, I'm sure Othergate has ideas that, like, unrelated to Dungeons of Eternity that maybe they want to explore, but like, it's too good of a game. You got to get it on all platforms,
And you're never gonna.
You can't stop it. No, I mean, you still have salt in your heart about Mother Gunship Forge not being continued.
Yeah, very disappointed.
I think that this is a game that can also live forever with continued updates. But
sell it off.
I do feel bad to say this because it is a lot of work to port games, but I do understand where those comments were coming from too.
Well,
like this is a game that should be on all platforms.
So we've been playing it for a while, right?
Mm-hmm.
There's no part of me that wouldn't want someone else to be able to play it on their platform.
Oh, especially if it's all crossplay. Get some PSVR 2 players in there too.
Fucking flat screen.
Yeah.
It's like it's
that good of a game.
Yeah. Just like Demio.
Yep.
It has that same quality of like, wow, you could really put it anywhere and it's probably going to do well.
So no, keep going.
Oh, the game I knew it began with Road. I just wasn't positive on the end. Roadcraft was
the name of the game from Inferno recommended.
Yeah, it's got everything I like in the game. And you know what? Easy. It'd be, I don't know if Quest could run it graphically, but as far as like, would it make a good VR game? Oh my God, yeah. Like not even funny.
I'll check it out.
Yeah. No, I recommend it.
But whether or not they want to live with it forever, I don't think Other Gate can ever get away with Dungeons of Eternity. As soon as they're done porting it to Steam, I'm going to argue with that people that said it. It's time to bring it to PSVR 2 as well.
I'm sure they. I mean, dude, it's such a strong team. There's no part of me that doesn't think if they want to, they won't. But I also know, maybe they don't want to because, and I doubt it's true, but they're all pretty much former Meta employees, right?
Well, they're bringing it to Steam though, so
yeah. Well, I think Xbox doing what Xbox is allegedly going to be doing, those walls are coming down for a lot. So I don't know. Does it deserve to be on PSVR 2?
Mm-hmm. I think it would kill it there.
Everywhere. Pico, PSVR 2.
One of my all-time favorite Xbox, Quest games.
Flat screen.
Mm-hmm.
Fucking mobile app.
But if you haven't seen the visual teaser for Dungeons of Eternity yet, definitely go check it out. And I mean, that has to mean it's coming soon. They've said that they're targeting a summer 2025 release. So summer's right around the corner, baby. Let's go. This is going to be a big one. If you've been waiting for it, let's go. I mean, it says on the Upload VR article, as for other platforms, Othergate previously ruled out a release for Rift, PSVR 2, and Pico. Man, I'm going to, I understand the other two.
I mean, it's kind of...
I think it'd be worth the effort, but what do I know?
Again,
what do I know?
If I worked... I mean, I'm just speaking for me, though. If I worked for Meta, and then I left on good terms, and I made a game, I don't necessarily feel the need maybe to put it on some platforms, just out of loyalty to what was a good company.
Why would you have that feeling about Sony but not Steam?
I don't know.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I get what you're saying, but then by that logic, why would you do the PSVR?
I'm thinking that's
PCVR
because I think Steam's futures, knowing how people are really going to be connecting. So invest in Steam, right? If they're not going to play the Steam game and they're going to be like, no, we're not going to ever have a system that's going to let you connect to Steam and play whatever VR game you want or flat screen game.
Mm-hmm. Well, we don't even know if the rumors
and we know
true.
There's,
and we don't even know if that would allow VR.
Joke and say that is true or not. But I also know that there's a relationship between Microsoft and Meta that exists, and one could read the writing on the walls and be like, hey, man, these moves are being made for a reason that people might know or not know. I don't know. I'm pure speculation. Because to me, it should be on everything.
Mm-hmm.
But hey.
I'm curious why they ruled out a Rift and PSVR 2 release, especially if they're putting it on Steam, why they would rule out the Rift release. Interesting stuff, though. But I'm super excited.
Great freaking team, dude.
To see Dungeons of Eternity on the Steam platform.
Okay. Well, seeing into the future. Now, this is actually a pretty short and sweet one, but the Ray-Ban Meta glasses are now available in India and Mexico and the UAE. Now, what makes this kind of a weird... India, to afford them, is like it's like the average yearly salary. So
they haven't scaled pricing at all on it.
Dude.
That's rough.
No, man.
That's rough.
So it's like they are available. It's actually they're available in 18 countries now, which is pretty intense. It is going to have AI features and such, but the cost 30,000 rupees, close to the average Indian salary. So the vast majority of the population is not going to be running out and buying these because they're available.
Mm-hmm.
They just not. It's not.
Sounds like it's going to be a little bit more of like an elite item.
Mm-hmm.
But
a million %, dude.
What were those numbers the other month that came out that they're increasing their output from? And it was like under 1 million before. So I think they're just checking boxes.
Million.
The only way you can do that is get into every country. You know what I mean? I think that's what's going on. They're just like, fucking, we need to break this out everywhere. Doesn't matter if it's realistic for the pricing or not.
Yeah.
Just put it everywhere.
Well, I mean, Lamborghinis, right?
Mm-hmm. I think that's what we're seeing. It's just like in order to sell 20 million, you need to be available everywhere.
18 countries, dude. Mm-hmm. And I mean,
I'd expect that to continue to grow over the next year substantially.
Very heavy hitters.
Yeah.
United Arab Emirates.
Yeah, those things.
They probably give them away when you check into a hotel.
I was just about to joke something like that too.
Yeah, you fly like
so many of them there. They're
Dubai
just kicking them around
it's
down
in your
the street,
seat waiting for you. Like, what's this? Oh no, you can watch movies on ours.
That's cool though. I've been loving to see the growth of wearable glasses. They come up
what's
more
cool
in
is
the news.
that the AI is going to work with it in these countries as well.
Yeah, because it's been a slow rollout for Europe for sure.
Cautiously, I get it, but the machines are taking over whether you like it or not. So,
well, wearables come up a few times in our news. It's actually going to be one of my upcoming points as well too. And the reality is, like, there's 3 different competing technologies going on right now. We have companies.
Wow. Yeah, I would argue 2 for sure.
Well, we have companies investing in VR headsets with Meta, also Apple. I know we laugh a lot about the Vision Pro, but they did put a product out, and it is, while nobody can really afford it, people do enjoy it. You know, it's a headset. Apple's in the market, and Google and Samsung are releasing one together. That's for VR headsets. And now, as we'll discuss later in the episode, Apple, Google, they're getting into wearable smart glasses. And we're also seeing those same companies, all invest in AR glasses. So the same players, Google, Apple, and Meta, are all competing for the same technology. And I feel like that Meta is just so far ahead in all 3 of those. And money put in, years into it, like
they are. But I for the first time ever, for whatever reason, felt last week like I could see them leaving VR.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
And go fully into the wearables? I don't think we'd ever see them leave.
It really stung. Well, in a way, and I'm not saying they're going to like leave tomorrow. This would be like a 5-year plan in my head. You know, like nothing. It's not like they're going to be like, nope, that's it. No further development. No, they've already got shit. It's already planned for. I get it. But I feel like they would have done their part for what needed to be done. Because in really a short amount of time, they have lit a fire under a lot of different companies. And it's like, we're going to talk about these companies, you know, chasing that technology or going like, hey, you know, this is where we need to go. But there's so many that we don't know about. It's like the next Meta's there and just nobody knows. And I feel like at a point they've done what they needed to do. To me, they're the working person's headset. It's like people can shit on it all you want, but they made an affordable product for really like lower to middle class income. Not bragging about it costing $3,800, you know, like really.
If anything, making it cheaper with sales and stuff.
To me, they're like Volkswagen was when, it, you know, something for everybody and it's affordable. And then it goes a different direction.
Well, I think it would be crazy market dominance to relinquish. I could see them putting less effort.
I don't know, man.
I could see them putting less effort and more effort elsewhere, but I couldn't see them relinquishing that market dominance unless that market dominance, they lost it organically just due to other competitors getting in, and there will be other
competitors.
And there have been, and they've maintained that market dominance.
The minute, and this is why I feel it, is because somebody's going to come out and they're actually going to compete, right? Which, if Pico was allowed North America, they'd throw some competition. They'd be doing some rounds, right? In the end, Meta would come out on top, but the competition would exist. They don't have any competition. I
don't see who it will be. I mean, Google's headset that's going to come out is probably going to be $1,000+.
No.
The
Everything's
Deckard
going to be over
rumors,
1,000.
Deckard rumors are 1,400. To go back to your point of the working man headset, that's what would be needed to compete. The only company I could see to do it, and you're gonna scoff when I say the name because you're probably sick of me saying this.
Fucking Google?
No, Google's making a headset. It's gonna be over 1,000. Yeah. Nintendo.
Yeah,
Nintendo could steal a good chunk. That's the company that would cause some. I can't see Meta fully leaving though.
VR?
Yeah.
I don't know, man.
I could see that. I could see them again.
Looking into the crystal ball, I don't see them wanting to or needing to.
Well, here's the thing.
And left a true legacy of like starting something that they will take no fault of failure in.
No, I mean the reason I'm pushing back on it is like if you like when you listen to the original Oculus founders talk, the goal was always AR glasses. Mm-hmm. Like that's what they were working towards all the time. So like the current technological projection is just following what the initial vision always was, which was to get the AR glasses. I don't think that they're going to leave the VR headsets with it too. I think that they're just following what the 10-year, 15-year plan has always been.
Well, unless you're going to call AR VR in glasses, because that would be an easy argument to be like, well, it's still technically VR, it's just glasses. Then they're still in the VR market.
No,
but if you're looking at like, I think they'll go more into like the real use clause, less, you know. I mean, but again, I could be totally wrong, dude. Mm-hmm. It's just for some reason I was hit with this wave. I'm like, huh. And I'm like, I was hit on it because I'm like, that might be something I would do if I was running that ship. Be like, the minute other players came in that made something like everyone could buy and it worked good.
Mm-hmm. I don't see that happening in 5 years.
What do you need me for?
I know that sounds crazy, but I mean,
what do you need me for? When I could focus so much more attention on that next thing that's going to light a spark under basically the world to like come up with something better.
We started the podcast 4 years ago, and there's not been a single competitor to come in with anything close to affordable in the same way in these last 5 years.
No, but
I don't see somebody coming in the next 5 years.
Listen, man, I've seen so many changes where everybody's this will be here forever.
I'm not saying that you're incorrect either. You're just
and these companies all of a sudden go, holy crap!
You shared what your thought was. I'm just saying
it's my prediction. Fair. 5 years might be a little. I'd say 7 max.
I just think that their market. The only way I could see them leaving is if they got beat on their market position. I don't see them pulling out, having such extreme market dominance because it's crazy.
I'm saying like on paper, I would think it would already be like an out.
I just don't see why. I can't,
because they're so far ahead in the future of what they're doing, dude. But that
doesn't mean
come to find out they're actually doing shit quicker than.
That doesn't mean you need to drop though. I think it's worth it to maintain that market dominance.
I just don't think the need will be there.
And the plan they've
7 years? No.
They've been saying it since we started the podcast as well. Like by 2030, we're going to have AR glasses. Mm-hmm. That's what they're pushing towards. There was always the push.
Time frame too.
5 years? Yeah.
5 years.
Yeah, definitely. They're going to beat it.
Yeah, they're ahead of.
Depends on what you consider AR as well, because HUD glasses are rumored to be coming next year. So I think again they're just following the timeline that they've always had. I don't think any part of that is drop VR either. That's part of the equation. It's just part of the overall pie. They want that XR dominance. It's
either one or the other.
Yeah.
But I never felt that before. Mm-hmm. So that was the first time I ever felt it. I was like, and it wasn't like, oh my God, the sky's falling. I'm like, wow, I'm like the technology is actually moving quicker than anyone really could have predicted. Mm-hmm. And again, these companies are doing things that, for the most part, some of them exceeding their own timelines. So we'll see. I mean, if you accelerate something and beat it by 2 months, even, and the next project you beat by a month, it's like these months start adding up.
It's like I follow part of your line of thought until it hits the point of, so we're going to drop it. That's the part that you lose me at.
No, they might have parts in it. Like they go to more of a, you know, here's our operating system. Feel free to buy it and use it in your headset. We're not going to manufacture the headset anymore because there's no need. And we still make really good money on the chips and our system.
Mm-hmm.
So.
But that's not pulling out of VR either.
Well, no, but I'm just saying you won't be like buying a Quest headset. You'll be buying something that probably has Quest parts in it.
Yeah, like I said, it's just a prediction, so I can't.
And
say
then
you're
wait
incorrect.
until
say I disagree.
Wait until you can do these headsets like you can a PC.
Mm-hmm.
And you go, fucking, I want this, I want that, I want this, I want that. I'll pay what I want. That's an option too that exists, right? Like you could do that in the future.
Mm-hmm.
But we'll see. I don't want them to pull out. I love them. But for some reason, just that wave, I was like, fuck. I get it. I kind of get it. I hope there's something affordable for me to play, is all my brain said. But if you look at the price of what something would be 5 to 7 years from now anyways, you know, it's not going to be $500.
Yeah. Nonetheless, though, interesting prediction on your end. I do disagree wholeheartedly.
Yeah, 100%.
But,
feel free.
You know, like I said, you're allowed the predictions. I can't say somebody is incorrect for making a prediction. You know,
you can 7 years from now.
Yeah.
I just be like, dude, you were fucking wrong.
I just don't follow the logic.
To all degrees.
But I understand that you're saying that they're ahead on timeline of stuff, but there's no point business-wise to relinquish market dominance when you have that type of dominance.
Because you're one competitor away from
that doesn't
having
exist.
The dominant.
That doesn't exist.
Yes, you're correct. It doesn't exist today.
Like I said, if they got beat on market dominance,
but
I could see it being...
unless you're like a fucking ant that knows what every ant's thinking, you don't know what's on the horizon. Nobody does.
I'm not disagreeing there. Just saying.
Then when the words affordable come into play,
I've been hearing these words since we started the podcast. Meta's going to pull out of VR next year.
It's never come from me. Never once have I ever.
Never said it did.
It's the first time I felt it.
Just saying.
And again, I didn't feel it like a tomorrow situation.
If a headset comes out tomorrow and all of a sudden, like, fucking, that's the headset people are buying, then I'll agree with you. Until that point, like, I don't see.
But to act like it's improbable that within 7 years there could be zero competition to an affordable headset is, to me, like,
I didn't say that.
No, but that's what it's going to take to make the dent. And then, oh my God, let's say you're like wicked dev friendly with like your store and shit. You already have an advantage. So
I see it much more like Sony or Microsoft's position with the Xbox and the PlayStation, that it's a product that they make as part of their whole company. Like, obviously Sony, Microsoft do a hell of a lot more than just their division of gaming. It'd be like saying that people say this all the time about Microsoft, that Microsoft's going to drop the Xbox. They've been saying it since the last generation of Xbox. And I push back in the same way that, like, no, there's no reason. They have such strong, obviously.
There's only two.
There's Nintendo as well.
Oh, yeah. I don't count them sometimes.
But they do. And then there's also computer gaming. There's no reason to drop that level of market dominance when you have it. Whether or not you're going to invest as heavy is a different conversation. You know, Xbox, we're seeing them, like you referenced before, the rumors of them shifting.
The rumor.
I think that Meta's going to maintain for, how long has PlayStation and Xbox been a brand? At this point, decades. I think it's going to be that same thing. They're just...
No one's been a brand longer than Nintendo, though.
In fact, it might even be better for them if they get a good competitor like Sony has with Microsoft, where they're always releasing the next gen together. That would actually be like the fucking best thing that could happen.
You would think.
It's like Burger King and McDonald's. We kind of need that, if anything.
I just think it's tough. And again, it's just personal. I don't know.
Oh, yeah, no.
I'd be 1,000,000% wrong. Be 1,000,000% right on the head. But the mindset of people who don't
criticize a prediction.
People who like aren't geared to think today. Like they have no concept of it. It doesn't exist for them. It's like they're so many years ahead in their own head and what they're doing and what they're constantly living and thinking about. It's like, how do you equate old shit into your stuff? It's like I'm gonna think 10 years from now and be thinking that like headset's gonna be a thing. Like it shouldn't be. It should have evolved into something else. But that's just, especially with the rate of like, let's talk, like realistic, like nanotechnology and all this other shit. It's like, whoa.
I see a world of coexistence, meaning like there'll be AR glasses, there'll be VR glasses, or not VR glasses, VR headsets. There'll be computers.
Well, you need a headset.
There'll be smartphone. Do you need everything?
I don't know.
I think some people will want to escape into virtual gaming, and I don't know if glasses will hit that point of computation. I think they'll do AR. Glasses are AR.
I'd love to get into Zuck's head for like a minute.
Again, I see Kotek. It's the same way like when people are like, VR is going to replace flat screen gaming. No way.
No,
flat screen gaming will always exist. Oh, people say it. Or people will say it's the future. It's like, what's the... No, technologies coexist. It's very hard for a technology to kill a technology. You know what I mean?
I'm definitely curious. I don't want to speed ahead 7 years. I enjoy every day.
Smartphones came out. It's the dominant form of web browsing, but we still use laptops and desktops. People still email, dog. Do you know how outdated that is? But I email, It's hard to kill technologies, so I can't see VR going away.
Fuck you, man. I want a paper trail, I think the reason people really use like laptops over a cell phone is screen size. That's all. If you could open your cell phone and it popped out a 3-foot screen, you'd never use a laptop again. You'd be like, oh, fuck, I can do it all from here. I can even run it off a mouse. Just convenience, I guess. But no, I totally, dude, I want to be totally wrong. I do. I very rarely get like that kind of wave is like, I don't ignore that shit.
I could see their focus going more to being like, I think the wearables and stuff, but I don't see them dropping.
I think once the reality of Orion and what they're really pulling off like hits, that's, some undeniable shit that's going to take place, dude. And then to know that's going to trigger the let's chase the animal syndrome with other companies. What are you going to do from there?
But those aren't going to be for gaming. I can't see them pulling out of gaming.
Not immediately.
There'll have little AR experiences for sure.
Gaming will go to the other people. You can
do Pong and stuff like that.
I mean,
see, I have the mentality just fucking dominate everything is how my brain goes. Like,
yeah,
just
but
hold that market dominance.
And in all honesty, you're dealing with a company that anytime they do anything, they're in court. So,
but they already own that dominance.
I know.
They already went to court for it, and they won.
Agreed.
The FTC tried to take them for market dominance with VR, and they lost.
Nope. Just give it time. I mean, I just look at it. Doesn't mean you have to lose, but it's still taking your ass to fucking court.
Again, I look at the Quest OS Horizon, whatever they're going to call it, in 10 years. It's going to be an ever existing brand like we see with Nintendo, or Nintendo's a bad example because that is their company. I meant to say with Xbox and
well, what is Meta would be my question.
What do you mean?
Well, fucking Nintendo makes video games. They make gaming consoles. What is Meta?
A technology platform,
right? So
what is Sony?
Well, Sony does everything.
So you could say the same thing.
Like literally everything.
You could say the same thing.
Well, Meta's not at a Sony level by any capacity with what they do. Meta doesn't make fucking TVs, radios, and high quality radios, TVs, speakers.
But they still do PlayStation too.
Yeah. They have a gaming console. They got into that market at the right time. But it's like I'm just curious how one would define like what is Meta. I've never seen their mission statement. It's like what's Meta? Is it like what is Meta? Might give a glimpse into the possibilities or the scope of their futures. Because who would have honestly thought that Facebook was going to be doing what they're doing? I remember a time when if you used Facebook, you were considered old.
But Microsoft was just a computer at first.
Yeah.
Just OS. But now look at everything they do.
Microsoft was, okay. So
everything Microsoft does.
But you only had Microsoft. You had Tandy too, but you had these people doing amazing. It was brand new shit, amazing shit, brand new, never done before.
Just like Meta with VR.
VR's been out for fucking long before Meta, right?
People made computers long before.
Meta made it affordable.
People made
it's the only difference.
Computers
and
existed.
Standalone.
Home computers existed long before Bill Gates made Microsoft. Dude. So, just saying.
Yeah, but
they never let go of their computer dominance.
Affordable.
Anywho, it's
Apple computers were never cheap.
It's a fun discussion. We got plenty to talk about today, though. Again, I won't fault somebody for predictions. You can't do that. It's just
if I didn't feel it, I wouldn't have shared it.
Well, I'm not saying you're wrong either. I'm just saying I disagree.
I want to be wrong.
I'm just saying I disagree.
I just feel it. I feel it in my bones.
All right. Alrighty. So, I figure we might as well go right into the Patreon shout out then, just looking at the time of it. So, and we referenced them in the Discord a few times.
It's a 4-year anniversary, dude. I just want to talk, man. News is news. Our shit's real.
Huge thank you, as always, to the people on our on-air shout out tier. Our Patreon supporters help us keep the lights on week after week. We have on our on-air shout out tier, huge thank you to Asim, Amelia, Carson, Aspire Mike, Jake, Crispy, Shoes, and Tom. Thank you all for your continued support week after week. We do have other tiers on our Patreon as well that don't include an on-air shout out as well if you just want to support with a little lesser of a tier as well too. We like to make it as palatable as we can. And that does come with an exclusive chat room in our Discord server.
Yeah, it's a minimum, right? Minimum is the chat room, correct? Like no matter what.
Oh, yeah.
The Discord chat room?
Yep.
Yeah.
We throw that on every tier. No, that's the most, you got to pay the most expensive baby to get that chat room. That's the most coveted reward. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah. All of our
full
tiers.
Disclosure. I have access to it and I don't pay. So I will disclose that. I always wonder, I'm like, is there channels I don't know exist?
No, the way that can't happen with the way the hierarchy is.
Like I said, I stay out of all that shit. Like I'm not touching nothing. I'll see somebody like post something they probably shouldn't, and I'll like, oh yeah, they're gonna get banned. But I'll let somebody else do that.
Yeah, me and Amelia are quick on it.
Dude, sometimes it's like throwing a fucking raw chicken into a crocodile pond. I'm like, oh my God, how did you even, like, you saw it that fast? Like, not even, and it's not like, I shouldn't say like it's done at it, like, no background. It's like there's always some sort of evidence. Like, you click on their bio and it's fucking slew of crypto links.
Oh, but huge thank you to, again, all those Patreon supporters that support us week after week, and everyone that engages in our Discord, makes it the vibrant community that it is. Y'all rock. So, like I said, loaded bit of news to go through, but we'll run through it fast. This was an interesting one. Stanford came out, because Stanford, as you said, met it. They didn't create VR. VR has been around for decades. And
fucking that guy we filmed the interview for, I can't remember his name, won the Lifetime Achievement Award.
Yeah, I'll pull that up. But
he was doing this back in...
Maybe even at Stanford. I'd need to pull up what college it was. Stanford's been involved in VR for decades, and they came out with what they call 5 canonical findings about VR. Some of them are pretty
this was weird.
Some of them pretty obvious. For anyone that follows VR heavily, this is all stuff that you'll go, well, yeah, no shit. So they gave the finding, the implication for researchers, and the implication for consumers, with like the finding, one of them being the benefit of being there depends on the activity. The implication for researchers is high presence is generally more effective for training and therapy than for communication and entertainment. And the implication for consumers is choose a headset with a specific purpose in mind. Workout training apps have been particularly successful. There's other stuff like self-avatars influence behavior. VR works better for procedural training than abstract learning due to cognitive load. Body tracking makes the medium unique, but also makes the user uniquely identifiable. And people underestimate distance in VR. I was kind of looking forward to more stuff like
really impacting.
This is how you prevent motion sickness.
Yeah. No.
You know, this do and do not. But it is cool to see a major educational institution like Stanford for so long be involved in VR. That's where Andrew Huberman, who was a quite well-known podcaster, that's where he was for quite a bit after college doing some, if I'm not mistaken, some eye studies.
That guy's a little next level.
Yeah.
And on the old intelligence scale.
So, I mean, look at the people that have gone through Stanford VR. I'll pull that up just to make sure. Because if not, I mean, hey, once you say things on the internet, people will verify it. Yes, the Huberman Lab in 2016 gained attention for using virtual reality to stimulate retinal neuron regrowth. So that sounds like using VR to regrow eyesight. That's what it sounds like. Need to look into that a bit more, but
yeah, I don't think anyone's technically done it yet, though, have they?
I wonder how that would work. Do you think it'd be like dots, and then you got to like look at it quick to like?
Dude, I need readers, you know. So
yeah,
I mean, I'd love to friggin'.
Too bad we couldn't have been doing this in 2016. I don't think he was huge in 2016. Maybe we could have had the opportunity to talk to him then.
We had like a nano window, dude.
These days,
no, it's like better luck getting Rogan, right?
But that's cool to see somebody like him get started in Stanford's VR lab. So they're esteemed. I was just expecting something a little bit more, impactful. They also did put out a timeline of research, like, starting in 1993, motion sickness simulator questionnaire was published. It works up to, 2004, large scale research and applications for PTSD treatment. And think of where VR was in 2004, This is something they've been interested in for a while. They're looking at PTSD back in 2004. That's pretty extreme.
For wellness,
you got to wonder, like, the amount of hardware and software applications that they've developed just internally for, like, their own stuff that have never gone to the public. That is probably, like, there's probably some, like, revolutionary knowledge just sitting in there through the decades.
Sick fucking budget.
Oh my God, yeah.
Yep, you're talking sick.
That's what I'm saying. Like, the data that's come out of there must have been nuts. So that's cool stuff. Not really anything that, like, changes our life. I mean, it's all stuff we would have known, but
most of that I would have figured out on my own.
Yeah, just use the
if you asked
medium
me
for
my opinion on, like, what do you think about? I would have been like, oh yeah. It didn't took. I mean, I guess you could say years of data. Yeah, it took years of
4
data.
years.
Yeah.
I mean, dude, that's the thing.
I'm just not getting fucking $1 billion.
I think both of us still consider ourselves the newbies.
Right? How do you turn it on?
Like me and you, but, like, dude,
I just draw my Guardian all day because it's so cool.
4 years of this much use, this much talking to
I like to
developers.
move my furniture and have it auto scan just to feel cool.
If that's no joke.
No, dude, 100%.
So I guess it sounds obvious to us, but yeah, we have been using the platform.
I got over imposter syndrome last year, so
we have been using the platform, talking with developers for 4 years. Like, that shit should be obvious to us. I guess it shouldn't have been anything like
No, I could see, like, if you asked nobody had ever done it, they'd be like, oh, I don't know. Fucking no. Yes. They wouldn't have any feedback. But yeah, I think if you asked, like, the hardcore user of VR similar questions, they would have come up to that instantly. They were like, oh yeah, I'll tell you. And to your thing of, I thought it would have provided motion sickness. It's like, there's not a VR user that doesn't have a tip or trick for motion sickness, whether it be a fan or fuck, dude. Roto VR chair. That's another one. Help you. Roller coaster game. Help me. I'm living proof.
Just going to the deep end.
Whew. Well, you gotta. That's the deep end that I still don't like to stick my toe in, dude. The thought of it, sometimes I just go, ugh. But it's so much fun. It's like a catch-22. And there's a part of you that's going to feel weird when you go on a roller coaster anyways, right? You're going to get off one of those high-speed ones, and you're going to be like, whoa, I feel a little weird. Or at least I do. So it's hard to say what is that and what is motion sickness? Because I'm going to feel a little weird on some roller coasters.
Like, if you jump out of a plane in VR and you go, whoa, I feel weird. Like, shouldn't you? You just jumped out of a plane.
Yeah, but it's weird. You don't get, when you go over, like, a hill in a car, you get that stomach feeling. When you jump out of a plane, you don't get that feeling.
But maybe it wasn't the best example. Maybe the roller coaster is the best
example. In a helicopter, like, it hovers and you jump out, or a hot air balloon, yeah, you'll get that free fall feeling. But jumping out of a plane is more of a 40-mile-an-hour glide.
Nothing beats when you're new to VR and like the hand sweating feeling on heights.
One.
Yeah, we used to sweat climbing that tower. Whereas nowadays, I'd be doing like a...
There's still times I'll be on the edge of something. I think in, might have even been Wanderer. I don't fucking know, dude. I was on top of something and I looked down and I was like, for a second, I went to try to grab the wall that's not there in real life, but was there in the game. I'm like, man, like, good job.
If it gets you these days, it's good. Still get that level of immersion is nice.
There's a dude playing VR doing like GTA. I think it's rigged, it's set up, but it's still funny and it makes its purpose of like how good VR is. And he's playing GTA and he's in a driving simulator, like rig, and he's got a beer in his hand in real life and he's drinking and he looks over and there's a cop in the game and he fucking spits his beer out and throws it down. Because for that split second, he forgot.
That's funny.
Which also sadly tells you he drinks and drives, if you know, but whatever. So yeah, man. Boy, easy to digress on a 4-year anniversary. How's that? So chasing Meta, which seems to be the theme for most companies nowadays.
Teased this a little earlier too.
Yeah, I mean, hey, like I said, they're the ones to beat right now, folks. But we all knew Apple was working on some fancy shit. Their competitor to the Meta Raybans is coming, but according to Bloomberg's Mark Gurman, it's coming in 2026, which is going to be a year sooner. And they're doing that because of the success that they're seeing flowing in from now. Where it gets weird is, what am I going to get for this Apple money? Because we all know they're not going to drop a $300 pair of fucking glasses. You're essentially getting the same thing.
That's how it sounds.
From what's being reported.
I think they said no augmented reality.
No. Of course not. They'll do that after Meta drops theirs, which is, honest to God, I think what like companies just sit there and they don't want to innovate. They just want to chase. And that is a scary thing. And that's why.
I do see one thing on this paragraph that I don't think Meta Ray-Bans do yet. That's all the other stuff it says it does.
Okay. So, yes. So
it doesn't sound like it'll be on the screen. It'll
phone
be
calls, music playback, live turn-by-turn directions. So 100% your Ray-Bans will do that because you can...
sync it to your phone.
Yeah.
In the Meta app. Yeah, good point.
That is not a fancy fancy. And I don't think
you're
those
so
glasses,
unimpressed.
Yep. 1,000,000%. I don't see in the particular cases of these glasses that there's any new innovation going on. It's just the chase.
It's playing catch up to the Ray-Bans, and they're a year away from it. Next year, Meta's supposed to have their HUD ones out, right?
Correct.
That's the rumor.
Correct.
So if they're just coming out with what Meta has today.
And check this out. So this Meta's move accelerated Apple by a year. A fucking year, dude. You going to tell me that Meta's not like, okay,
yes,
we're going to accelerate our shit by, it's like
coming out with HUD glasses this year now.
Where it get 100%, where it gets stupid is you could have done that from the beginning, like that kind of fire and motivation, but it takes that. But unfortunately for Apple in this particular case, they're just chasing.
And let's be real, Ray-Bans are $299. What do you think these will cost?
$1,000.
I think so. $799 at the cheapest.
I used to joke that the headsets were a great throw-in for like phone plans and shit.
Oh, this one would be though.
This legit
it makes sense
because
it's like they do with the Apple Watch.
They did Apple Watch or iPad.
Yeah.
Which one do you want? And
shit.
You know what I'm saying?
They could really leverage that phone market then to game their sales on this real good then. People buying it, not even really thinking about it at phone sign up.
Yeah.
Just bundled in.
And it'll just be in the wild. It'll give them but we'll see as we get closer.
That's true.
To like,
Apple is good at that shit.
What kind of styles are they going to use? I mean, dude.
I didn't think the Apple Watch was going to take off when it first came out, and here I am. AirPods. I mean, like, they're freaking wireless headphones. People love them, so I can't deny the power.
My insurance will let me buy an Apple Watch a year. They'll give me $300
because of the health tracking and stuff like that. See, Apple is really good at those deals from a business standpoint, like working out that stuff.
But we'll see what's up with this because we do know next year comes the HUD display. Oakley's.
I do think that glasses
with
like
the Neuralink
with the right amount of thickness, which Raybans have found a good balance for. And like AR glasses currently are like farther away from your face and clunkier. These type of smart glasses are so palatable to users. Like they appeal to so many people. It's really like a product I think is going to grow so much over the next couple of years.
Smart glasses and AR glasses have more of a true, it's for business.
Yeah.
A VR headset.
Mm-hmm.
You can
VR headsets are for gaming.
Dude, if I can put on AR glasses and fucking boom, I'm in Zoom or whatever, and I see the little image of the person, I'm able to do my shit. Where it gets a little weird is people who can't be trusted with cell phones and driving.
Yeah.
And now you're going to give them the ability to watch a movie. You know, it's like, it kind of goes hand in hand with self-automation of cars, right? Eventually, we'll have to concede we're just too attached to our fucking TikToks and YouTubes to be able to be burdened.
You're going to be able to sync your glasses with your car.
Yeah, just sit back.
Technically,
you don't even have a front seat anymore. You just have a bed, fucking couch. Yeah. It's kind of weird. I mean, there's always ups and downs with every change, but I am definitely looking forward to the intro of HUD display, which is nothing new, dude. I mean, cars have it.
Look, smart glasses for daily use, AR glasses for work use, like you said, that's the real
your work be tracking you
work
too.
product, and VR headsets for gaming. VR headsets that should always have mixed reality capability too, because pass through is fun, but like headsets are for gaming. Smart glasses are for day-to-day life, walking around. And AR glasses is for, like, remote work. That's like a good triangle right there, right?
I mean,
it's the realistic way that they all fall into play, too. Like
how we're thinking today, absolutely.
Where things will be in 10 years.
I don't know.
We never know.
So, I mean, eventually we'll get to some sort of, like, contact or injection which, as a child, I always thought, you know, there would be an evolution of almost like Total Recall where you're just drugged, you know, and you believe the shit. But I don't know. I don't know if I want to be like real life first person Grand Theft Auto action. Shit could, you know, with feedback coming back all bruised and bloodied.
Next 10 years are going to be fun.
Like, I don't go into the gang sites, man. Apple chasing the meta tail.
Mm-hmm.
It's 100% what it is.
100%.
Yep. Innovate, Apple.
And
you
Google
crushed it with the cell phone.
Seeing Google do the same with their VR headsets too.
Google can't be trusted.
Google showed
I love Google, but they just can't be trusted.
Here today, gone tomorrow.
They must.
That's the company slogan.
It's probably a change of accountants. Like, yeah, I'm not dealing with that shit.
I've heard rumor. I don't know if this is true that like people will use a product to like prove themselves in the company and get a promotion. So then when they get the promotion, the product gets killed off.
I mean,
I guess they have like a very open like mentality about creating stuff inside the company. So you come with this thing, it gets you where you want to be in your career, and then when you move on,
that was just a school.
You
project.
kill it. Yeah, it's interesting company culture if that's
baking soda
if that's
vinegar,
true.
Dude.
I can't
confirm.
But, anywho, it's from Flat to VR Studios, so definitely bias on my end. I should have probably just passed this one to you.
Yeah, I mean, I was shocked you took this one
to read. But from Flat to VR Studios, and developed by the Gang, who's the developer of the flat screen version. So developed by the Gang and Flat to VR Studios. Out of Sight VR, an atmospheric puzzle adventure as described by Upload VR. Anything with work, I just go to the media articles and read off of that just to make sure, you know, just to be safe. It's out now in early access on Steam VR. It follows the journey of a blind girl named Sophie as you try to guide her.
I don't know what's funny about that. I'm just kidding.
As you try to guide her, you make me laugh. That's what's funny. As we try to guide her to safety through a mansion, and you do this all through the viewpoint of her teddy bear. And they describe the game as second-person puzzles. So oftentimes we hear first person, third person. This is a game that leans much more into the very rarely touched second-person elements. And it's only on Steam right now with a Quest and PSVR 2 version coming later this year. It's out now on Steam for technically full price is $24.99, but it's on sale, 20% off until May 29th. And so far, man, got positive reviews on Steam. Reception's been good. It's been fun. I think the real, big impact of the game will be when we see it on PSVR 2 and Quest as well too. But so far, the reception's been great. And if you like, these type of puzzle games, as we know both of us do, I'm so excited to hear your thoughts on it. I was trying to poke you on into it last night, but we ended up in Honey Pot because that's so fun as well. But yeah, Out of Sight VR out now on Steam.
Dude, I've been hearing some really good things.
Yeah, I'm excited for it to be on other platforms as well, just for more people to have access to it. I know not everybody has PCVR. If you do have PCVR, don't be scared by early access. Like, that doesn't mean like
that's
it's
become
buggy.
a very common term being used.
It's just that more updates are coming. That's why it's early access versus having these come later in a fully released game. But I do know early access does scare some people sometimes. They go, oh my God, my game's going to crash, especially on computer and stuff like that. Definitely not the case. Wicked fun game, though. Highly recommend. Okay. Especially if you like those type of puzzle games. Let's see if I can get you in it in the next week. Just so I can hear your thoughts on that too.
So real quick correction. And I thought I did it while it was going down. Because in my head I had it that Apple had some glitches. They didn't. It's actually Google that had some glitches.
Oh, that's a pretty big correction.
So I wanted to clarify. I didn't want to interrupt you but I wanted to lead with
We're going to get a lawsuit from Apple saying,
yeah, no, fuck that. I don't need none of that Apple lawyer on me.
You just had the wrong article up?
Yeah. Not the wrong article. I just was
reading the wrong spot.
Going off of memory on that part of it.
Okay.
Because to me it was pretty. Yeah, there was. Yeah, no. I totally retract that, and I'm cool with that. Hopefully, Apple is cool with it, which they have to be now. Thank God. No, it was actually Google who was showing off their smart glasses. Yeah. Excuse me. Of course, theirs does have the HUD display, but it was theirs that froze during translation, and it was pretty much a similar demo that they've already shown before. So nothing new.
You're just showing them more and more?
More and more. Fortunately, they did have a glitch, which I'm not going to laugh. I just feel bad that I blamed Apple for it. And it was actually believable, which is kind of sad. But anyways,
maybe I'll cut that part and listeners are going to be like, what are you talking about?
You never said nothing about that.
If I decide to cut it, we said some things.
Oh, that's messed up. Yeah, it's probably worth cutting because it's in fairness to Apple, they didn't ask for my screw up there. I mean, and it's bad enough I'm saying they're just chasing and they're not innovating as far as the glasses go, and then they had some failure. No. Nope, it was Google. Google had the mistake. Google had the failure. But again, that's just, look, when they're demoing this shit, it could have been a network thing. Mm-hmm. Can't go say the AI is broken or I'm not in it.
No, like we said, it's happened to all tech companies when they do these keynotes and these demos. Everyone has technical glitches. Now, whether that's a one-time glitch or representative of recurring internal struggle of software, that's a different conversation. But I can't fault somebody for a little technical glitch.
Tech demo too, right? It's not like finished product demo. You're just flexing what you're currently doing. It's just funny how all these companies are it's all dependent upon their AI. I mean, Meta, Apple,
they're all investing so
Google.
heavy AI into AR.
Who's got the best AI, which in itself is crazy. At what point is AI going to do battle with other AI?
The AI wars have begun.
Oh, if your AI's dumb and mine's smart, couldn't mine do something to yours? Hey, buddy, look at that ball. Oh, is it shiny? And then you get
my AI could beat up your AI,
dude. It'd be suck if that's what it comes down to.
So this next one's fun. I think there might be a little skepticism if it's ever going to come, because we've been looking forward to this for years.
Bare knuckle boxing.
No, Laser Dance.
Oh,
the next game from Cubism's Thomas Van Bowel.
Thomas,
I love Cubism. Thomas is such a cool developer. We had such a great chat with him, both on the podcast and in person at MetaConnect.
You know, when we talked to him in Connect, I thought we were going to get keys to Laserdisc. I thought it was like that ready to... I didn't know it was like...
When I first saw this, I think it was black and white pass-through on the Quest 2, and I've been wanting to play it since then.
Mm-hmm.
Homie's been... That's the thing you got to give Thomas. Like, with Cubism, with Laserdance, he's one of those, maybe ahead of his time games. This is a game I could see being on Orion in 5 years. Or whenever these AR glasses come out.
Maybe he's just dragging, waiting.
Maybe he knows things,
my shit would
you
be
know?
much better with the...
But Laserdance.
Imagine being able to set that up anywhere. People would be looking at you funny in a bank.
Laserdance, the next game from Thomas Van Powell. Originally, it was targeted with a 2024 launch, and then it was pushed back just due to all these changes that come with Meta's APIs and stuff with their mixed reality. It is now set to launch in early access this fall on Quest 3 and 3S. So stay tuned for that. I am so hyped. Maybe one of my most hyped mixed reality games that have ever existed, just because of the amount of time I've been waiting for it. Very simple concept. These lasers, at least is what I've gathered from watching the footage. Lasers appear in your room.
Play it, man.
Yeah, like an old spy movie, dude. You got to like navigate across your room, dodging the lasers that appear static, at least from what I've seen, and get to the button on the other side and press the button to deactivate them. Such a no-brainer game concept, and I want it so bad. I can't wait.
Yeah, man.
You make me laugh.
I thought it was done.
You don't even need to say anything. You make me laugh. I just got to look over at you smiling, and you fucking got me giggling.
Oh, man.
I can't wait, though. This fall, Quest 3 and 3S. Stay tuned.
Okay.
This next one is fucking...
This is actually big news. I mean, whatever. We had an off-air conversation about this particular one, which is rare, but it felt needed. On the Wicked Good, the best part of it.
Ignore the black eyes.
The black
bloody
eyes.
Nose.
Yeah.
The bloody nose, fat lip.
Cracked.
It's a heated discussion.
Stitches. Nope. Maestro. It's coming to PSVR 2.
Maestro.
And getting a John Williams Star Wars DLC.
No freaking way.
Episode 1. To clarify, that is episode 1. I would have preferred episode 4, but you brought up, it's probably an age thing where 1 to you would be much more enjoyable for you than episode 4. But in the cool factor of it, you're also going to get a little mini, and I know you're a sucker for the word lightsaber, but a little lightsaber wand for your conducting tool. What's wicked cool, and they get some bragging rights because when they come to PSVR 2, it's going to be hand tracking. So this is now officially, congratulations, the first game to support controller-free gameplay across Quest, Steam, PSVR 2, and Pico.
Wow.
Which is weird because I would have thought somebody would have done it, but sadly, there's not a lot of games on
only 3
PSVR
on PSVR 2
yeah.
that have. They're the third for PSVR 2.
Waltz of the Wizard and Masters of the Light.
Both great games.
Yeah, man.
Phenomenal, one might even say.
There's also, because they're just in the spirit of giving shit away, there's going to be a free update on the same date. Includes new Fields of Fate. Some of these names I don't want to say because I'm going to absolutely butcher them. But on what I will say, Fields of Fate stage, it's going to promise a rain-soaked apocalyptic arena where heaven and hell collide. That's what I need is good visual distractions while I'm playing Maestro. And then you got angels and demons, orchestra split into 2 armies, and then some really tough names and some songs that you'll get for free.
Huge congrats to them.
Maestro's doing their
big
thing.
DLC.
Let's see if this opens the door for episode 4. Let's get to some, I want the whole album, bro.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, I can't disagree. There's nothing more iconic than Imperial March.
How would you?
Dude, it'd be so fun. Yeah. So I'm not going to disagree that there's more iconic tracks to get. I think that this is what they could get.
Remember how bad I wanted Maestro? I remember when their IG was nothing.
Mm-hmm.
That was
they put out that demo and went silent.
I was like,
and now look at them. They're crushing it.
Fucking way did you put all that effort into that.
What a great score from Creature as well, too, their label. Mm-hmm. This was announced during Creature did their own showcase as well, too. Huge props to them that they've grown so much. They are able to do their own showcase as well.
Right.
It's also where Laser Dance's early access and coming in fall was announced because Thomas Van Val was partly supported by Creature, that label. So, no, huge congrats to Mitra. I have nothing else to say besides, like, that's freaking huge.
Crushing it.
John Williams, dude. Mm-hmm. Hopefully that opens the door for more tracks as well, too.
But we also saw what, if you do want the Metallicas of the music world,
we saw what it costs
more than the game.
Yeah. So, this one, it's not a game I played yet, so I don't have too much to say. I'll just share the news that it's come out of early access, and it's definitely one I'm going to check out. Mecha Force. It is a mech roguelite game, anime-inspired roguelite. It is now out with a full release. It was previously out, like I said, in early access, made by developer Ming Studio. It's a mech roguelike game, only $9.99 on MetaQuest and Steam. There is still a free demo that remains live on the Quest. But, I love mech games. I'm a sucker for it. Like it's one of those genres that just work in VR. I'm still surprised. Yes, there was the Gundam experience, but actually inside a Gundam, a full campaign of that, it seems like a no-brainer IP for VR. So any mech game I'm pretty much down to try out. I'm excited for this one. Mecha Force out now, $9.99. It's your cup of tea, I
like the name Mecha Force. Mm-hmm. So something that we got to play on Steam VR is now out for Quest 3, and that's Into the Radius 2.
Ooh, earliest of access.
Early access.
Earliest of access, as I like to say.
Earliest of access. So by my recollection, we did receive a copy, so I'll say that. Just have not played it yet.
Busy.
Honey.
Being a bee.
Busy, I get it.
Busy bees over here.
But the little we played on Steam VR, I think it was cool.
Mm-hmm. Trippy.
There's a lot. Yeah, trippy's an understatement. There's so much more coming to it that I'm such on a hard fence. I know we have to play it.
I just need to see how it performs on the 3. But I understand before putting those 100 hours in.
I almost want the wait. And I think that was the rationale when we played it on Steam was okay.
Well,
this has so much freaking potential.
They've done updates that bring new areas. I don't know how unpolished the story is these days.
The feedback I thought was there really isn't. It's kind of just endless shit, right? So I don't know.
It's launching without parity. So there's some things in the Steam version that aren't yet on the Quest version, but they hope to get parity soon. And there's no crossplay.
You can save 15%.
Oh, I'm not reading that code. You can read that code.
No.
ITR2_EA
hyphen.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, you had it right.
Okay.
The next is hyphen.
Okay. ITR2_EA hyphen 501CA46.
It's not worth 15% to take all that. I'll just pay full value. We'll call it a day. So no, we're gonna play it just for I agree because the graphics are pretty damn good, but it's knowing the amount of shit coming. It's I'm gonna shelf it, dude. I have to.
Yeah.
Now it's $39.99.
Yeah.
On Quest. This is not but
is it gonna cost more at full release?
No.
You don't think so?
Nope.
You think that's the max price it's
ever
going to be?
That's their hard number, right?
I think they should have done $29.99 and then bump it up to $39, unless they're going to increase it.
So we've heard some of the criticism of it, but it's a 4.7 with 241.
Which, again, games don't get the same amount of reviews these days. 247 just coming out last week is huge for being early access.
But the graphics are really good. We had a lot of fun, dude.
The gunplay in it is great. I mean, do you think it's more polished in this state on day one of the Quest 3 than it was, because we played it at launch on Steam. I'm thinking it's more polished here than what we played on Steam.
I'm going to say yes.
And
this is probably a better version of what we originally played many months ago.
It is not the full game yet, as we referenced. This is for fans of the series that like they want to be part of the development experience. They want to go through it and see it grow. Into the Radius 1 is not co-op. It's not multiplayer. It's single player only. So if you want to play the Into the Radius genre with a friend, this is your only option. So I mean, like, but if you're somebody that
we'll put a little time in and we'll talk about it next week. See what's up.
If you want the full story, the full experience, the full campaign, for the same reason, you're almost.
I'm on the fence of it, but I'm gonna play once with you because I agree with your.
Just got to see it.
Yep.
But like, there's arguments to both. So if you're a player that wants to go through it and see it grow, get in it now. If you're somebody that you want a full polished experience, wait it out a bit. It's fine. I don't think they'll criticize you for it. So love the developers too. Great studio. Now this next one was supposed to come out last week and it's now been delayed, which I've seen enough bad releases in my life that I am never upset at the delay. Like, if it means the reception's going to be what it should be at launch, do what you need to do. But Zombie Army VR, a game that was previously listed to be developed by XR Games, and then they, a couple months ago, switched to the developers, was set to launch on May 22nd on Quest, Steam, and PlayStation VR 2. It's now been pushed back, confirmed by the publisher Rebellion. It's been pushed back to June 12th. They didn't say exactly why. Just, we can all use our imagination. You don't delay something because, you know, you woke up and the wind blew left instead of right. Like, there's clearly performance issues or whatnot. That's usually the reason these things would happen. Except in the case of Dig VR, which delayed a week to give Batman a chance to breathe. Yeah. Zombie Army VR is the title that you give room to breathe. It's not the one that's moving for anyone, you know?
If it's not perfect.
Yeah.
I don't say perfect, but if it's not to standard, then no. And we don't know. Maybe there was a back-end upgrade and then, oops. We've seen it go south. But better go south before it's in the wild because people are waiting for this one.
New studio name, by the way, is Extended Realities, who's handling the developer.
Okay.
Main reason you're excited for it, I know. It's playable single player or 2-player co-op. 2-player co-op zombie game. Sign me up. I'm excited for it. Let's hope it lives up to at least be a fun experience. I don't want to say expectation because I don't have much expectation of it. I'm just like,
just want it to be fun.
I just want to mow down zombies Arizona Sunshine 2 style. Can I be real with you?
That'll be, we replay Arizona Sunshine 2 or wait for the third.
I have a feeling this is going to feel very similar.
I'm hoping for good gun mechanics.
Good melee.
Good hit points. Good sound.
Ooh, good zombie crunch.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah. So if you can hit the trifecta there of
that real zombie horde feeling. I never want it to be like you're only killing 2-3 zombies. It's always easy. You really want that like, oh shit,
well,
what am I going to do?
Don't think
Ammo's
that's going to be a
low.
problem.
Let's see. I'm excited though.
Yeah. No, they've got me. They've been riding the hype train pretty good.
So I'm not upset at it. If you need to delay, always please delay. I'll never criticize it that.
So we get a delay and then a non-delay because Prison Boss Prohibition, which we've been super excited for, is coming out in just over a month, sometime in July. So if you don't know Prison Boss series, highly recommend it. They're changing it up this time now. Everything's taking place in New York. Everything's illegal. Cigarettes, porn. So guess what you're going to make and you're going to sell. So if I remember correctly, though, this is co-op this time. Yep. There it is. Co-op, baby. 2 players.
So hyped for this.
Got to trick the police and the mayor. I'm curious how they're going to do it. Last time you were stuck in a cell. So, you know, is it going to be...
Doesn't sound like you're in a cell. Do you feel...
It might be, and then they come walking by. I don't know.
I'm freaking hyped.
Man, they had me stressed in the prison cell, though, making my contraband.
Such a fun game. So silly.
Making so many cigarettes.
Great vibes.
Yeah, but come in July. Dude, that's huge.
Yeah, good stuff. So yeah, I can't say enough how excited I am from Trebuchet. Trebuchet. I cannot say enough how excited I am for Prison Boss. Prohibition might end up being one of the best co-op games of the year. So excited. We'll definitely have to get them on closer to launch.
What?
Did it say what the actual release date was?
No, July.
July? Just sometime in July? Okay.
That's what it said. Maybe I'm wrong.
That's so close, though. I'm not mad at that. Don't lock in an exact date either. Give yourself that flexibility.
Some wiggle room.
Yeah. So this is a case of somebody either can't keep their mouth shut or they got clearance for the first official marketing beat of the decade, but fellow headset maker, the headset Lynx, which went through Kickstarter and was first announced in 2020 and has yet to ship. Let me confirm it had a Kickstarter. I'm pretty sure it did.
It's always a risk with Kickstarter, dude.
Yeah. But yeah, it was first announced in 2020. It was supposed to have shipped in 2022. It would have been the first ever standalone headset with color pass-through, but it ended up being beaten by the Quest Pro, then the Quest 3, and now the Vision Pro, and is unfortunately still not shipped. Making hardware is hard. However, he did come out. The creator of it, Stan LaRocque. I'm going to call him Stan. I cannot pronounce people's names. He came out on X and said the design of Valve's next headset, HMD is what he said, but headset, is quite amazing. And then he did a follow-up tweet and said, I'd be equally pissed if Link's next-gen ID got leaked, so I won't share more. I'm just excited for good new XR HMDs. The headset making world is so small. We all share the same suppliers for some components, which makes it sound like, he got word of it through, mutual manufacturing. I don't know, man. I can't imagine. Either he can't keep his mouth shut, he can't keep a secret, or this is an official marketing beat. I don't know which it is. You know what I'm saying? Like, do you think that they told him, like, hey, go tease this a little?
Dude, since I don't believe in leaks anymore for the most part, other than sadly it's Bradley.
It would be a very bad
faith.
Yeah. This would be a very, like, I can't keep a secret move otherwise, right?
Right. Yeah. Somebody had to, especially in the world of NDAs.
Mm-hmm.
Come on. You can't even walk into a studio without an NDA.
I feel like you'd be burning some relationships with manufacturers who then go, hey, you told about another one of our... Like, I can't imagine that this would be a cool move to do in his position unless it was cleared by all parties, It's just my thought. Or he just can't keep a secret. One of the two. But we all are seeing... Sadly, it's Bradley, man. He's always out there with the Decker teasers for years. I feel like the whispers, like the stuff like this guy coming out and going on X, like, there's the rumors, a couple months ago about the price and the features, about being able to play flat games. I feel like it's got to be getting close. Like, the way that it's ramping up in the news cycle.
I don't know. Apple did a good job of making you feel that.
That's true. We could be having this conversation in a year.
Yeah. That was
yeah.
It went from being funny to like, dude.
It went from being something that Bradley leaked and talked about as like a mythological device, as like, it kind of feels like it might be coming.
Could be real.
Yeah. Cool shit.
Sweet.
Cool shit.
So,
this one was,
speaking of cool shit, appeared on the Ruff Talk VR gaming showcase in 2025.
Actually, the year before as well, too.
But Knights of Neon is full release. It's out on Quest, $19.99. Grab it now, play it. If you really want to see it in action, you could go to upload. There is some gameplay footage, or you could go to the YouTube video and see its awesome freaking trailer that I actually recommend because they did a great job at just the vibe, dude. It made me want to play it. Don't know why. Hack and slash, whatever, but I still want to play it.
He was in our live chat for the showcase engaging because people were talking about the AI voice. And he was like, yeah, he was basically saying he was proud of it.
He was but he's a solo dev, man. Solo developer. Like, give somebody some slack. And I've seen you publicly like say, look, if you're you got a couple hundred employees, then you have no excuse to
That could have just been for the trailer too. I don't know if that's in the actual game.
When what if it is? Who cares? It's a great voice. We all thought it was Optimus Prime, right? Everyone did. He was like, nope. I have, but in this case, it's all about use clause, right? It's not a 200-person company with this huge amount of cash flow. This is a solo dev, man. Like, what the hell? Or like you said, you're a new YouTuber or something and you don't know how to make thumbnails yet. You can get a little help from the old AI assistants. You shouldn't really like condemn it, but no, he was full disclosure. Dude didn't hide from nothing during the showcase. But yeah, Out in the Wild, 1999. Let me do a quick little check because I should have probably pulled it up because it is actually out, but it just came out. Yeah, it's got a 4.0 with 3 ratings.
Ooh, so definitely go check that out.
So that about sums up the current rating system going on that we see.
And why we referenced the 217 for Into the Radius 3 is so good.
It's got 1.3, 1.4, 1.5. So that's actually not bad.
No.
Yeah.
Definitely want to go check out. Definitely we should, check this one out soon.
Even one of the 5 stars has a little glitch, but he likes the game. See, and I respect that. How you gonna punish a solo dev?
Yeah, that was what the 3-star was about, was that they had a bug in the first mission, it sounded like. But it's like, yeah, solo dev just came out. 3 stars for a bug.
Yeah.
Come on. That's just my opinions though.
Yeah, no, Bob. I definitely can't wait to
huge congrats to them.
Get into that.
So this next one, Adepts Arena. It is a new upcoming VR fantasy adventure that's going to have you master the earth elements. You're going to play as an earth adept of the order, and you're going to journey through a fantasy world threatened by an army of golems. So you're going to be taking on some golems, baby, and they say with quote unquote advanced physics based effects. Come on. It sounds like you're going to be similar earthbending to like Avatar: The Last Airbender. That's what I imagine when I hear master the earth element. I imagine I'm going to be chucking rocks and stuff, That's what I hope, at least. What's interesting about this is that there's no release window confirmed yet, but it will be headed to Steam with a flat screen mode and to Quest. Interesting.
Okay.
It's going to be single.
I'm liking seeing going flat screen.
Mm-hmm.
Wish more people would do that.
I think it's a smart market move.
Flat to VR needs to come out with
VR to flat.
Someone's going to do it. Because the same shit's going on. There's certain games you're like, this would do really well in flat screen.
What's interesting is I don't see the store page for the Steam version reference VR support. Oh, no, it does VR support.
Okay.
Steam VR. Okay. It just was interesting. It didn't show up.
No point in having system requirements because if you have to run VR, you need some good system requirements.
Well, I imagine the flat screen version will be less requirements too. I wonder how that works with the Steam requirements on the Steam page when it's like one requirement for the flat, and then the other for the
flat.
Steam.
You have endless amount of power you can play with versus the VR.
Wow, this is cool.
No, that is cool.
Look at this. They call it a FPS-like in the PC version and a martial arts simulation in VR.
Okay.
I mean, that kind of sold. Like, you get a different game. It's the same game, but it's a first-person shooter type game. That's not a shooter.
In VR is going to be different play style than.
And yeah, looking at the GIFs on the store page, you're chucking rocks, baby. That's what it looks like.
Just throw.
Look at that. Hell yeah. I'm in. Single player. I do wish it was co-op.
Their follow-up game will be called Sasquatch, where you'll be uprooting trees and throwing it at people.
Didn't even realize this. I think this was shown off at the Creature showcase. If it not, interesting timing because it is published by Creature. Man, so they're scoring some good ones.
Yeah, well,
Maestro.
We knew that was going to happen.
They got Laser Dance.
Mm-hmm. They got winners.
They had Starship Home as their first internal game.
They got a lot of winners.
They got Adepts Arena coming.
But they also have a vetting process that's...
Oh, that was something Doug Northcook was very clear to us. Like, I am not supporting any random game.
In theory, there should be nothing that has their involvement that's going to be anything but good. In theory, right?
This is just a game I wish... It sounds like it would be so fun co-op, but I need to shut up about that. That's just my own personal preference.
Dude, even AI knows it.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's too funny.
Nonetheless, huge congrats to them, I guess, on scoring this one. I didn't realize that. This one looks like it'll be super fun. Smart move to come flat screen as well. And I'm excited for Adepts Arena.
So you know what I'm excited for?
What's that?
A game that I'm actually shocked they keep putting as much into as quick as they're doing. But Hide the Corpse. is added a new option. If it's just too easy for you to hide a janky body in 4 minutes before the law comes, they've added some modifiers now to make it harder for you. And I thought I could just get away with dumbing down the modifiers, but I can't. So I apologize. So I'll give you a brief little understanding of what these are, because I was curious myself. I'm like, what are they going to do? Like more joints on the thing, whatever. Nope. You get gas crisis, which is a body rocketing fart effect that'll send Gus flying. So right off the bat, dude. There's flubber that makes him bouncy and unpredictable. And then you get Saturday slip fever, which makes him greasy. He is kind of difficult to manipulate, not greasy. So now you're going to grease him up. Yep. You're going to be all slipping and sliding.
Oh, dude, it's going to be hilarious.
Damn, man. You will get, just like any modifier, add a modifier, get more points. So if you just really want to chase the highest possible points, then you're going to need to use the modifier. You obviously still have to hide the body in time. And that's that, man. But good for them.
Nah, dude,
the modifier it's out now for Quest, of course, and coming to Steam and PlayStation VR 2 soon.
Wow.
No specified date, though.
Congrats to them as well for coming to PSVR 2 and being out on Steam. I mean, they're crushing it. I agree. It's been supported more than I expected, and that's awesome. It's a funny game.
Damn. I mean, dude, they've already done a really good update for it.
Mm-hmm.
I like how Gus is Gus.
Mm-hmm. It's such a fitting name for the avatar.
Dude.
Yeah, they crushed it.
One of hands down the best trailers I'd ever seen.
Yeah, love it.
For comedic value.
So I guess going back to Creature, man, their Creature feature presentation was loaded.
It was pretty impacting.
Yeah,
you can see by the swell of news, it all pretty much has a tie-in to them, with the exception of Apple.
I'm getting that.
Google.
I'm getting that vibe now because they also announced another game they're publishing in partnership with Neat Corporation, who made Budget Cuts and Garden of the Sea, great game. They announced Crossings. It is going to be a VR roguelite game, an action-adventure roguelite set in the Norse afterlife. So that sounds fun. And it's going to be playable single player or co-op. You're going to be fighting through an ever-changing world. You're going to be fighting ghosts, dragors, and quote-unquote other dark beings. So this one looks fun, man. It's going to be available on Steam and PSVR. I'm sorry. Scratch that. It's going to be on Steam and Quest. And they are going to have a PCVR demo available on June 9th for Steam Next Fest. Other than that, no upcoming release date. Well, this one looks fun.
Okay. Well, you know what looks really fun?
What's that?
Just the way the article was written. Deadly Delivery. Okay, cool. Is a comedic co-op. Say no more. Don't care what the hell comes after that. Comedic co-op. But
laughing
it's actually,
in VR never gets old.
So it's going to be a co-op VR horror game in a haunted mine. So how scary can something be if, and this I will point out, was shown on the Creature feature presentation.
Go figure.
Guess who makes it though?
Who's that?
Flathead Studio.
Ooh, they're the makers of
We Are One.
Yeah.
Yep.
Awesome.
We Are One
Freaking game.
So up to 4 people. You're delivering.
Dude, that looks like the same graphic style too.
Yep. I hope they use the Mother Earth Lady voice somewhere in the game just for nostalgia. You're going to play as a goblin with up to 4 of your friends, which means it's probably going to be a grind if you play by yourself.
Maybe not some game scale.
You're shipping.
Yeah.
You're in the shipping world, bro.
Got honeypot PTSD over here.
You have to avoid monsters as you drop off your packages. You got to make a quota.
I wonder if I can fight them, or do I just got to avoid them? I'm scared.
I don't know. You got to survive and pay back your student loans.
Dude, you know what's funny?
And what?
I think that they're made by a student team. So that's very relatable to real life. Yeah, yes.
Flathead said, look, you want to make a game to pay off your student loans, and then put the fact you're paying off your student loans.
I think that's what happened.
So what I like is it's saying it's physics based, and they arm you with quote unquote questionable equipment.
Oh Jesus!
Across.
Oh geez.
I can never say that word. That's
Oh,
your word.
procedurally generated?
Yeah, generated tunnels, so they'll never be the same twice. Sneaking, sprinting, surviving. Nobody can really know much more than that. I have faith in the studio. We Are One was amazing. No confirmed date of release, but it is rumored Q4 on Quest and Steam. So we will keep our eye out for Deadly Delivery. Man, you know it's going to be fun.
I hope they put one-time loop level in there or something, just as homage to We Are One.
Dude, We Are One was so good.
Really good. So good is almost an understatement. It was so good.
With the exception of the contraband seeds that were destroyed by U.S. Customs, the flower pot they sent was freaking amazing.
Don't falsely accuse them. I'm going to push back on you. That was Lawnmower Sim that sent the seeds. They sent
sent the flower pot Lawnmower Sim syntheses. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Phew.
We had seeds incinerated from Lawnmower Sim.
As far as we know.
Yeah, that's fair.
We at least got the letter from
I at least learned, they'll throw a letter in there if they incinerate anything in your packages.
It's destroyed.
I love the word incinerated.
Incinerate. Oh yeah, they let you. It's flamed. It's torched. It's ashes.
It's no moss.
Isn't that worse? And I'm quite sure Lawnmower Sim did not send us some evasive freaking.
I think
plant.
It was grass seed.
Yeah,
they basically told it. I mean, it would have been only funnier if they said, and then we stomped on it. You know,
we stomped it. We threw it through one of the engines of the jets to never be seen again.
Right. So
yeah, no, I apologize. They did not send us the seeds.
No, I'm super excited for that one.
But the flower pot was freaking badass, dude.
Definitely. So, Audio Trip. It is a long time VR rhythm game. Old school.
Own, man.
Yeah. They added a new DLC called Neon Disco Pact that brings 5 new songs for a price of $7.99, available on Quest and Steam. So, I don't really know any of these artists. So I'll still read them. It's Now Move by Captain Joe's, Neon Soul by Control S, Paradise by Ducey Williams, Make Me Love Your Home by Ninor, Disco Shapira by Omiri Samadar. So, not any artists I know, but I generally don't know the artists in Synth Riders, Beat Saber, Audio Trip, or anything like that. But I do know that
Boom Kitty, bro.
Yeah, Boom Kitty, not playing games, brother.
Even made it into their anniversary DLC there.
Great to see.
How much?
The DLC pack is priced at $7.99.
That's not bad.
No, not at
reasonable.
all. Not at all. Not bad at all. And let me pull up the base game price as well. Base game's $19.99. I mean, check this: 1.6K reviews on the Quest Store, 4.5. Been out for years as well too. Been out on the Quest since 2020. So old school title. Great to see it still getting support.
Well, in the world of support, I like the flow this week. I really do. One just really flows legit into the next, because we have an Iron Rebellion update, which released last December, but now you can fancy up your mech with some new camo. They've also included some new weapons and such. But what's cool is a game that's a year old, more than a year old, is still getting updates.
Mm-hmm.
Yours has this one beat by far.
It's all right. I mean, that one sounds cool.
But dude, it's like
decorate custom mechs.
I like when it seems subtle, right? But
I love that.
There's also really probably more importantly than being able to add custom camo, which will be 3 layers of textures, so which kind of makes sense. Dark background, 2 different spot areas. There's also 2 community maps that'll be available as well.
Oh, that's cool.
So it seems like the community is driving this a little.
Mm-hmm. I love that stuff.
I love that it's not abandoned.
Yeah.
I admitting we don't have 1,000 hours in this game at all, dude.
No.
But kind of makes me maybe want to go back, but I feel like I don't have any upper hand at all. Yeah.
Cool stuff though. Love to see it still get support.
Updates are cool, Mother Gunship Forge.
Mm-hmm.
We do love updates.
So this last one here for me, I think that was your last one as well before we get into the upcoming games real quick. Syberia. Is that how you pronounce that?
Mm-hmm.
Syberia?
Syberia.
I'd say Syberia. Syberia is the country. Syberia VR It is the VR adaptation of a classic point-and-click adventure game. It's going to be coming to the Quest 3 later this year. And by classic, 2002 is when the original came out on PC. So, the publisher Microids, who, man, I want to say that they're the same people behind the upcoming Smurfs game. So, they're getting their feet real wet in the VR market.
2 games coming out.
Mm-hmm. Interesting. Cool to see this come to VR.
It's what kind of game?
Point and click was the original. So it's like how they if they try to stay true to the point and click with laser pointers, or if they try to reimagine that with VR interactions. Let's see. There's 2 ways to do it, you know?
Okay.
Let's see. Coming later this year, though.
Do you see on Game Pass what's available?
No, what's that?
It's fucking awesome. Made Tracy so happy, dude.
King's Quest?
No, she already got that.
What's that?
Old school games like Activision, Atari.
Oh,
games.
I heard that they added old ones. Yeah.
Dude.
Is there good ones?
Yeah, like really old good ones. Ones that I used to own. Some in there that I'm like, oh yeah, I remember that. I couldn't afford that.
Well, I meant to bring this up, so I guess it's kind of timely before we wrap this up.
Yeah, man.
Through the MetaQuest Creator Program, and obviously in partnership with the company itself, Backbone, I got sent one of these controllers, the Backbone Pro, that I haven't tested out too much, as it does require, I didn't realize this at first, a USB-C input. So you need one of the newer iPhones.
As everyone in the UK laughs.
Or one of the Androids. I currently have I have an iPhone 13, so it has the Lightning port. But I did buy an adapter that works as well, or it just connects via Bluetooth. And I won't lie, even if it doesn't go officially in the actual
thing's beautiful
slot, like, I mean, it connects fine. Like, I can shake my phone. It doesn't come out.
Be praying for international flight.
So that's not actually even connected, hard plugged in, and it's real no difference. So this is just how I've been playing it. But the Backbone Pro, their supposed thing is that it allows seamless switching from like playing with my phone. Then I could go to my computer, and then you could go to like your VR headset. It's compatible with the Quest 3. I haven't played it. I haven't used it too much. So no full thoughts, just saying like I got one of these. I'm excited to check it out over the next couple of weeks. I cloud game a lot on my Quest 3. Use like Xbox Game Pass and stuff like that you can connect with this.
I'm just lucky because I'm getting the feedback in real time because I've almost bought something similar.
Mm-hmm.
And now I'm pretty sold.
I think that the software side is a little bit more what sells it.
The use is that you can get 50 different ones of those, but this one specific does some. Well, that was alarming.
I just clicked something. I accidentally closed all my windows. Whoopsie doozies.
What the hell?
All right. So after a loaded episode, it's our 4-year. Cut us some slack. Let's go into.
I was shooting for 4 hours.
Let's go for an hour a year. Let's go for the upcoming games through May and what's announced for June thus far
that we know.
Mwahaha. Do you want to start with them?
Oh, my bad.
Sorry.
Okay. We have upcoming VR games.
Just sitting there waiting for
I'm
each other.
chilling. I'm vibing. I'm like Reg. Reg hasn't moved this whole episode, dude.
Mm-hmm.
I love him. Pets and Stuff, May 23rd, PCVR. Echoes of the Sun, May 26th, PCVR. Hard Bullet. Too many jokes. May 27th, Quest 3. Bow, of course. May 28th.
I think it's
Quest.
just Bow Course.
Oh, Bow. I said, of course. Dude, I visually saw it.
I know.
Bow Course.
Happens to me.
May 28th on Quest. That's it's in a couple of days. Into the Darkness. I'm like self-proofing now. May 29th, PCVR. F125. May 30th, PCVR.
I think that one's like a flat one. Just has PCVR capability if you buy the flat.
It's all right. It's racing. Get Out, A Very Bad Dream Story, May 30th, PSVR 2. Intrigued I am. Pools, May 30th, PCVR. Epica. Man, I feel like we say this every single month. Epica, May 2025, PSVR 2. Slap Fighter VR, May 2025 on Quest. I'm actually intrigued about it. Vivarium, May 2025. And Quest, May's running out, folks. Alliance Peacefighter, June 4th, PCVR. Neon Cipher, June 6th, PCVR and Quest. Exergale, June 9th on Quest. And this one's going to be huge. Five Nights at Freddy's, Secret of the Mimic, June 13th, PSVR 2.
Curious if that eventually comes to other VR platforms. We also have... Ooh, I actually meant to throw this one on the news as well, too, so my fault. I'll say this real quick. V-Racer Hoverbike, it's going to come June 12th to MetaQuest. That was announced last week from the developers Vertex Breakers, as well published by Impact Inc. It is a existing PCVR game that's going to be making its way to Quest. I'm so excited for racing fans to get their hands on it. There's not a huge variety of motorcycle style racing games, so this is going to be a fun one.
There's V-Rider.
That's about all I can think of.
Pretty much the dominating one.
For this style of like track racing, yeah. I mean, so it's going to be awesome to have some more variety there, especially on standalone VR. So excited for V-Racer to come on June 12th to the MetaQuest. Then, as previously referenced in the episode, Zombie Army VR.
Ooh, can't wait.
Coming June 12th these days, for now, to PC VR, PSVR 2, and Quest. Overdark, a do not open story. Coming, some of these names, man. Coming June 13th to the MetaQuest. Hyped for this one. The Smurfs, Flower Defense, coming June 19th to the MetaQuest. Elemental Towers, coming June 23rd to PC VR. Cave Crave, coming sometime in June to PSVR 2 and MetaQuest. Neolithic Dawn, coming in June to MetaQuest. Requisition VR, coming in June to MetaQuest. Umbrella Up, coming sometime in June to MetaQuest. Warriors, coming June 2025 to PC VR. If I said June 25th at any point, I meant June 2025.
That happens to me all the time.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if it happened.
I'm adding words that clearly weren't even there.
I was saying it. I was like, did I say 25 before? No, June 2025.
Gonna get that email from the dev. Like, yo,
how'd you figure out the 25th, dog?
Who fucking told you, man?
All right. If you've been enjoying the show, some of you for 4 years.
All right. So on kind of a cool thing, it's a little after the fact, and I'm not 100% whether it's over.
It all depends on wording.
So when you hear this episode, if it is Monday, you might, and if you don't own it, not meaning walkabout, but the course Around the World in 80 Days, they did do a free weekend, which is kind of huge. But
love the concept.
Especially for them. Dude, it's like they have such a resume of DLC that they could unlock for the weekend for free. Chances are the majority of users probably already own it. But for the newcomers, absolutely huge. Where it gets a little weird, if I look at the socials, on the video, it says, May 23rd through May 26th. But the verbiage above it that somebody wrote makes it say that it like ends on Monday.
So you want to say that people can play it today, but you're not 100%?
Not 100%. I'm really 50-50.
But it's a cool concept, nonetheless.
If you didn't know and you're not on their socials, they did have a free, which means jump on their socials because chances are they're going to do this again.
Hopefully it went well. Hopefully it's something they do again.
Dude, it's a great little promotion. And what do they lose?
Idea.
People being in the servers? Come on.
I love the idea.
It's amazing.
Maybe you have a great time with it and you go, shit, I need to buy that course.
It's a good course.
Yeah.
Dude, that was a really good course.
Yeah.
Well, they're all good courses. I don't even have a favorite.
IP course they gave for a free weekend. That's huge. So huge shout out to Walkabout.
Jules Verne.
Thank you as well to everyone that tunes in, as I always say, week after week. And some of you,
anniversary, man.
Some of you, it's been 4 freaking years. Thank you all for joining us along this journey. We say it all the time. The community is so much of what makes this freaking really awesome.
Fun.
Yeah.
On the back end of things, they make it really, really fun.
Yeah. So thank you to all of our listeners. If you haven't yet, subscribe on whatever platform you listen on or watch on, if that's YouTube.
Give some free love.
Subscribe on Spotify, Apple, Podcast Addicts, whatever the kids listen to podcasts on these days. Or if that's YouTube, subscribe there. Smash the like button.
Kids are listening on Raybans.
Smash the like button. Share it, comment, all that stuff. Check out our Patreon. Check out our Discord. And stay tuned It's been 4 years. We've never missed a week. Think of that.
Wow.
That's crazy.
Dude. That's not even funny.
Let's go. Crazy. Crazy stuff. And the best, as I keep saying, I feel like I'll always feel like I'll always feel that way. So thank you to everyone that really makes it worth it. Thank you to all the developers that, we've had the opportunity to build a connection and a relationship with, and for making so many great freaking games that have been able to keep us entertained.
We got to get Robin back on soon.
These last 4 years. Yeah, Robin, she needs to hold that most visited title.
Need a 25 appearance.
And so excited for so many games coming out, including Zombie Army VR.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, there's some good stuff on the horizon.
Killing zombies, baby.
Let's go. What's that game? Titan Isles that's coming out from Cytech Studios. Mr. John Hibbins that we stole outside.
Yeah. Oops. Don't ever come up to podcasters and be like, hey, what are you guys doing?
Yeah,
when they have a microphone and camera clearly set up.
I'm excited for Titanfall or for Titan Isles. All the great stuff showing off.
Wicked cool dude, though.
At the Creature label. Prison Boss Prohibition. Stuff.
I do. I've been waiting for that one too long now.
I'm biased on this one, but of course there's RoboQuest VR coming as well. I think that's going to be a fun title.
Why? Who's putting that out?
Well, that would be a Flat to VR Studios.
No way.
But it's not just Flat to VR Studios. Like I said, there's all the great stuff that was shown by Creature. I'm so hyped for Prison Boss Prohibition. It's not even funny.
Mm-hmm.
Even just on the upcoming games that we listed here.
I like the peace of mind of knowing if Creature's involved. It's good.
I can't say I'm 100% sold on Slapfighter VR, but I'll at least pop in there.
I'm 100% playing that.
It's going to be the highlight of all the games listed.
My name's going to be Bitch Slap.
Let's go. All right. Thank you, everyone. This was a long one. Let's get this baby wrapped up, and we will check you out next week. Ciao, ciao.